Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie, for those who don't know me, reviewing Love Island Australia Season 6 episodes 21 and 22. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. So episode 21 didn't really have too much to get into in my opinion, so we're going to go through that quite quickly. We're going to start with Mercedes and M. So, if you don't remember, Mercedes in the Truth Bite game was a little bit too honest, and he exposed the fact that he and M have had sex. Now, M, in retaliation, basically called him a minute man who couldn't even finish. So after the fact, he wants to talk to her right away. And M is like, I'm not in the space to talk. Mercedes does not care.
I'll chat to you later.
No, right now. Right now.
I just need a minute by myself. I've literally not talked to anybody else.
No, right now.
No.
I'm not waiting. I'm not letting this thing linger.
Literally have not said a word to Sophie.
It doesn't matter. You're in a couple with Sophie?
No, but that's what
you're
you're
saying. Let me talk to her.
All right.
And I don't want to.
Em, do you need some time? You need some time for yourself, right?
It's fine, apparently not.
No one was
I don't want to hear
her.
anything. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, that's just a bit crazy.
Stop talking to me.
Yet he was upset by my reaction, and I get that was his reaction to my reaction. To come in heated, and to be rude to my friend, how do you think that conversation is gonna go?
Was I wrong for telling the truth, or should I have lied?
I think you should lie.
You think I should have lied?
I think Mercedes overreact. I think he should let M breathe.
Do you want to just stay here for a bit? Yeah, okay. Do you want anything? He was one of the only people in the house that I could really trust, and it feels like that trust was broken. You know, I don't go out, I don't have one night stands. It means something to me.
Ooh, Mercedes, bad call. Bad call. Horrible call. Number one, I get that he would want to talk to her right after, because to him, I guess he was like, okay, I said something, it was unsavory, but the way that you responded isn't great either. And so obviously we need to address it. I understand that thought process, but the intensity that he came with, it also didn't look good that he was standing and she was sitting. It kind of looks like he was towering over her. To make it a little bit better, he should have at least sat down next to her. At least. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't look good. So the girls are coming in. The girls were annoying me, honestly. Here's why they were annoying me. M really likes Mercedes. M wants a relationship with Mercedes. So they're going to have to figure out their conflict one way or another. So for the girls to constantly be like, no, don't talk to her like that. No. I get it. I do get it. At the end of the day, they're the ones trying to figure out their relationship. And yes, they needed intervention, but I hope they don't overdo it. They needed intervention because both of them, after taking some time, realized that they could have handled things differently. Even M is the one who starts the conversation with him because it wasn't good for her to just air him like that. And he realizes, oh, he definitely spoke out of term. He definitely was making the situation worse by wanting to talk right away when emotions were heightened. They did need outside voices to help them, but I just hope it's not a pattern. Because at the end of the day, the people in the relationship gotta be the ones to come to some kind of resolve. You know what I'm saying? Or have somebody who's unbiased. And we know those girls are very biased. So yeah, Mercedes calling M immature. Choice words, especially because he later has a reflection that he handled it immaturely and he has a lot of growing up to do. They end up having a conversation. He apologizes for how he acted in the game and how he acted after the fact. M, in her confessional, said that the reason why it hurt her so much is because, number one, she didn't want to, and number two, she has sex with people who really mean something to her. So she's already done it on the show, something she didn't want to do, but she did it with somebody who she felt so safe with. She feels like her only real safe haven is Mercedes. And for that to come out the way that it did, it's like, wow, I can't even feel safe with my safe person. What the hell? So it's a whole lot of stuff going on for M. She tells him that she's really, really into him. He says the same. And so they kiss and make up. But yeah, they both realize how deep their feelings are and that in the future, they have to handle things a little bit differently and put their relationship above the show. Mia and Nico have a quick conversation that is a little bit confusing to me just because it's why are we having this so early? So they are clashing about moving. I don't even know why moving is such a big topic for them right now. If they are open to moving, I think at the stage in the relationship that they're at, that's good enough. They haven't even known each other a week at this point, if I'm not mistaken. And already, you know, it's like, no, but I can't leave my family. No, but I need you to be where I'm at. Guys, it's only been a handful of days. Like, it's okay. It's all right. But yeah, they kiss and make up too. But I was thinking, yo, they're moving fast. And like, if it works, it works. But just like, you can take your time too. It's fine. We also get a quick conversation from Dylan and Sophie. He says that he has moved past the Hotel Amour situation. And later in bed, Sophie treats him to something, okay? Pretty sure this isn't the first time. And this is going to be a thing with these two. Like, whenever they have a good day, they're going to have a good night. So, yeah. The next morning, Steph and Mimi get sent on a date. Couldn't care less about that. But in the evening, everyone is getting ready for like an evening party that they're going to have. And Zayn, I forget who he was talking to. Did I write it down? Sorry, not Zayn, Dylan. Anyways, Dylan says, I feel like it was to Nico, that he actually hasn't fully forgiven Sophie for what happened between her and Zayn. And to all those people who wanted to, you know, attack because I said certain things about Dylan, it's this kind of behavior that I'm talking about. Like, Dylan is not this like, oh, sweet baby bird. Oh, how could Sophie hurt him so badly? Like, he's not. Granted, Sophie was in the wrong, absolutely. But Dylan has those F-boy tendencies that have not disappeared. They're still there. He just hasn't exercised them, but they're there. Trust. So anyways, he's like, oh, I kind of hope that somebody new comes in so I can actually test her loyalty. Well, ask and you shall receive. We get Eric and Jade. Now, I could have sworn this man's name was Garcia. I don't know where Eric came from, but whatever, they're here now. Jade says that she's interested in Taylor and Zayn, and Eric doesn't actually say who he's initially into, but Kayla is very, very, very interested.
Oh, he's your type.
Bro, how did...
So I'm really hoping it will just all flow. Like waiting on a shiny new toy, and that's you.
There you go, I'm here. I'm actually living out my camper.
No way.
Yeah.
You have your own space.
Oh, yeah, love it. And you can just go away on weekends, like,
Wow,
you know, just get up and go.
I'm a lifeguard.
Are you a lifeguard?
Yeah.
What? That's kind of hot.
Kayla's so sexy. Stunning. I reckon she's the hottest one here.
Oh, Kayla, honey, this is how I know you're in the trenches. The van life. I used to be one of those van life girls where I would watch the videos of people renovating their cars and you get to watch them tour across the country and stuff like that. But that would be an immediate red flag for me. Immediate red flag. But she likes this man so much. She's like, oh, that's great. Van? Awesome. Love it. You live in a van? I live in my mom's house. Nothing he said shook her at all. She's like, you like it? I love it. You love it? I eat it. Like, she is in the trenches over this man. Like, girl, he fine, but simmer down just a smidge, okay? They're gonna have multiple conversations about how much they're feeling each other. I don't think Eric is looking at anybody else, but I also don't think any of the girls are checking for him. Most of the women in the villa are actually content with the man that they are coupled up with. No, just Kayla and Zayn, who are interested in the bombs. And a little bit, so Taylor, let's talk about Taylor. So Taylor talked to Hannah and he was like, yeah, she's cool, but like, I'm into you. Even Hannah was like, oh yeah, he's hot. Like, he's so cute. Like, he's so fun. But I only got eyes for you. They're giving a little bit weird. I don't know. Taylor then pulls Jade unprovoked, completely unprovoked. And he's like, yeah, don't even bother trying to get to know me.
Do you want to go for a bit of a yarn?
Yeah.
Have a chat? So I'm with Hannah. I think we're really great. So it was a bit of a weird thing. I'm 28. I'm not a boy anymore. I need more.
Yeah.
And Hannah basically approached me one night and told me that she had feelings for me. And we got along really well. We already knew that friendship was there. But
What? And I was just like, okay.
So Hannah got dumped. I was holding back tears. Like, it was like, what the fuck is going on?
You're kidding.
Yeah, I'm open to getting to know anyone who walks through those doors, including yourself.
And I want you to pull me if you want to get to know me. It was such a nice story. Like, did he want me to clap?
As I was watching this scene, I was thinking, who is this for? is this for the cameras? Is this for anybody who has questioned his intentions? Like, he just wants to make that very clear to anybody in the villa. Like, no, I completely shut it down. Is he playing it up to us, the audience? Like, I was very confused. Like, what is the point of this? Jade is there like, okay, I didn't even ask for... What is going on? Even Jade in the initial conversation wasn't laying it on thick enough for him to do all of this. There was no need for a whole monologue, the whole freaking journey from day one to now. Who needs this? Who is this for? Taylor is playing up to somebody. I was like, this is so inauthentic. Happy for you. Then Mercedes has a conversation with M. They also talk about being closed off. He was like, yeah, nobody's turning my head. I mean, nobody can at this point. These are the last bombshells to come in. But he's like, yeah, nobody's turning my head. I'm all in for you. She reciprocates. And they both say that they can genuinely see a future outside. I now can see it too. I now can. I root for them. The conflict that they had, it's unfortunate that it happened the way that it did. But the best indicator of whether or not a relationship is going to last is how you resolve the conflict. They did it in a great way. Absolutely stellar. So at this point in the episode, I was wondering, are they trying to like cram in a whole like 3 weeks of Love Island in one episode? Because so much was going on. They had 2 games, 2 very like important games too. I was kind of confused. Or maybe the first game didn't bring the drama that the producers thought it would bring, so they put in another game. I'm not quite sure. But anyways, they play one of those games where it's like, who said what? Zayn thought that M said that he was slow, but it actually was Mimi. And I'm summarizing because the little blurbs were too long. Hannah thought that Mimi called her a fake bitch, but it actually was Mia. Now, I don't remember Mia saying that. What was the context? She said it was when she first came in. And she's like, no, I like her. I just, she was just giving fake at the beginning, which she does. But yeah, I totally missed that. Taylor thought that M called him controlling, but it actually was Mimi. And Mimi gets a lot of heat during this game because Mimi be talking. I'll give Mimi the credit in that if she is asked to her face, for the most part, she will repeat what was said, but she be talking a lot about people. And like I said a few episodes ago, if it wasn't the last episode or the last video, venting can quickly turn into bitching, which can quickly turn into bullying. So I'd be careful how much you want to vent and talk about people in the way that Mimi does. It's a slippery slope is all I'm saying. I don't think she has slid down that hill yet. Then we have Sophie, who thought that Hannah was the one who reduced her to less than an insect, which she did. Dylan thought that Mimi called him an F-boy, and she did. Steph thought that Mimi questioned his intentions, but it actually was Taylor. And that's interesting because Mimi hasn't given Steph any reason to think that she questions him. There's so many times where I want Mimi to question him more and she doesn't. She's like, oh no, he did good. When they would watch the dates, she's like, oh, he answered that great. Like, I don't have any doubts about him. When he tried to get ahead of the whole stroking, what's that girl's name? Oh no. Listen, that's the thing about these shows. Once these people are off my screen, I completely forget who they are. What was that girl's name? Oh Lord. Anyways, you know who I'm talking about. Stroking her belly. She was like, oh, no, I fully believe you. I need you to be a little bit more inquisitive. So Steph really stuck his foot in that one because Mimi, she don't question you, okay? You must question yourself. Then we have Kayla, who thought that M said she didn't want to be her friend on the outside, which is true. Nico thought that Hannah called him a pussy, which she did, but she says the context was more so like, oh, he's a simp around me, even though around the guys, he tries to be like this macho guy. So she kind of saved herself there. Mimi thought that Taylor called her a bitch, and he did. And M thought that Zayn said she's giving high school, but it actually was Hannah. Now, I don't necessarily think that M is giving high school or was giving high school at the time that she said that. I think it's becoming a little bit more high school as time goes on. Hannah, it's rich for Hannah to be the one saying M is giving high school because Hannah, I would love to know how these people feel watching back the show. Like, I just want to get their perspective on things and to see what else happened in between, because a lot of the cattiness, a lot of the whatever, I'm just like, what is the reason? I get not getting along, but damn. Even Taylor too, the decline of Taylor, oh my gosh. He was trying to defend Hannah. Good, you should defend your girl. And he was like, but no, Em, you were giving high school and what. Sir, you are too. After the game, Hannah wants to pull Sophie aside and to apologize for the comments that she made. I forget what the comment was. She basically was like, oh, get that thing out of here. I'd rather have an insect or something like that. Sophie takes the apology. The funny thing is, I don't think that the rift between the girls would have been as big. At least it wouldn't have gotten this big this quick, if not for Sophie. Sophie running her mouth is a big reason why Hannah was going through the trouble she was with the women, but she don't really know the extent of that. So movie night, woo, it's gonna be a great time. Kayla and Eric have another I'm really into you conversation. It was all fluff, so we're gonna move past that. In the evening, they have the heart rate challenge. I felt like they sped through the heart rate challenge. Not that I wanted to watch these people dance any slower, but I was just like, oh, it's not hitting the way that it's supposed to. Like, the heart rate challenge is a big staple of Love Island. What are we doing? And it was only the guys who did it. The girls didn't take part. But anyways, I'm gonna hit you with my highlights. Steph, to me, did pretty good. Okay, listen, the man is fine. Okay? The man is fine, and he knows it too. Mercedes, to me, was quite cringe. Okay? He was trying to do the whole thrust it in your face thing. It wasn't hitting for me. Nico tried to keep things PG as per Mia's direction yet again. She loved it though. She was like, yeah, he gave me the energy I needed and gave the women none, which is exactly how I like it. Zayn kind of did the same thing as Mercedes, but he really gave Jade a show. He was showing her some good attention.
He looked good. I want to fly his plane. No.
Taylor definitely gave most of his energy to Hannah, but the part that stuck out to me was him trying to impress Jade. He low-key gave her a concussion in the process, but I was like, why are you trying to show Jade any kind of attention after the conversation you just had? Anyways, I actually expected more from Eric, not gonna lie to you. I did. But when he was kissing Kayla put in that work, okay? She definitely made his performance look a lot more enticing. Dylan was last, and he did not hold back at all. He was kissing and rubbing and touching and licking and sucking everything he could. Wow. Okay. So on to the results. We have Mia, whose heart was raised the most by Dylan, and was also raised the most by Dylan. Hannah was raised by Nico. Kayla was raised by Eric. Mimi was raised by Steph. Sophie was raised by Mercedes. Plot twist. And Jade was raised by Zayn and Taylor. It was a tie for her. Sophie then says, because Sophie Monk was the one who was reading the results, she then says that the single life is over for Jade and Eric. I can assume it's only going to be a recoupling. There shouldn't be a dumping at this point. Who would they dump? If you're gonna dump anybody, dump Nico and Mia, because I just feel like they're taking up space at this point. I actually would rather Taylor and Hannah go home, but I need them to stay for movie night. I asked for movie night, and here it is. I need to see the receipts, okay? It seems people are gonna be really upset. Bring out the popcorn, bring out the snacks. I will be seated. Ooh! As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.